So this is a force. Suppose in the 1 mark question or 2 marks questions, I ask what is the relation between the force and displacement in the static analysis. Means the relationship is Q is equal to K into U. That is external force Q is equal to K into U. External force Q is equal to K into U. Can you just draw this diagram and we'll mark it here. This relation, this diagram you draw. Force displacement relation. What is the relation between the force and the displacement? So for example, somebody is hitting you on your head. What will you do? You will deflect. I mean, you will little bit you will slant your head. So that is the displacement. The force they are applying on your head is the external force. So what is your reaction? Your reaction is you are just when you are somebody is coming, you will just slide your what is that? You won't remain that position. You will just stay away from that one. The stay away means in the sense that is slide away. You will sway little bit. You sway from your neutral position. So that is the reaction you are making. So how much the force is external force is equal to somebody is touching your head means you won't sway, but somebody is hitting means you will sway. So depending upon the external force, how much it is coming on your head. Similarly, you can take your finger and you try with another finger, you try to deflect it. So if you are touching your finger, that finger won't deflect. If you are if you are touching your finger with the force, it will deflect. So depending upon the force, external force, you will react. You will react. Similarly, if another example is you take a tree and the grass. So when the wind is blowing, wind is will be blowing with some intensity, some force. So when the wind force is acting on the tree, if the wind is very severe, then it will sway a lot, a tree or the grass. And the when the wind power is very low, then the tree won't sway. So the external force will be compensated by the internal something, that is it is getting displayed, and depends upon the stiffness also. For example, the wind is moving at a speed of 50 km per hour, or what will happen to the tree? The tree will somehow withstand. It won't sway much. But you take the grass, it will sway a lot. So I want to convey two things in that one. One is that stiffness of the material is very important. That is, the grass is having a lesser cross section, and stiffness is also very less. What is stiffness? Resistance to deflection. Stiffness, the definition for, suppose if all of you note down, resistance to deflection is called stiffness. Stiffness is resistance to deflection. And note down this the figure. So then remaining things I'll explain later. The stiffness is resistance to deflection, because Q is equal to K into U. So K is equal to Q by U. Have we finished? Yeah. Then one thing you do, you move on. I'll move on to the next slide. So now we will explain what is the meaning of real meaning of stiffness, and the how the relation. Just to copy down this one more time. Have you finished? Finished writing? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
One thing. I want to explain something here. So I told we are discussing about the relation between the force and the displacement. So force is the, I have denoted by Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4, and this is the stiffness matrix and this is the displacement matrix. So the external force is related with the stiffness matrix and the displacement. So if you want to write in the simple form, you have to write Q is equal to K into U. K into U. So the relationship is very important because in the 1 mark question and the what is that 2 marks questions only students used to lose their mark. So whatever is I'm telling in the class, just you note it down and you have to study. That is Q is equal to the relation between the external force and the displacement is Q is equal to K into U. So this is the relationship. Q is equal to K into U. So this K, if you this only I have written as K, and this is the U, and this is the external force Q. So when you look at the stiffness matrix, you can see some terms. That is, the stiffness depends upon the Young's modulus, cross-section area, then the what is that? L, length of the member. So if you take what is the material property, so I'm going to the material property has been incorporated in that one. How you are incorporating the material property? By giving the Young's modulus value. Suppose if it's a the what is that? Uh, it's a steel material. In your stat pro analysis also it will ask for the which material, whether it's a concrete or a steel, and it will ask you to feed the value of E. Why it is important? That is, suppose if you take a steel scale and a plastic scale that you are commonly using in your studies. So when you take the steel scale, it will not be easy for you to break it. But when you take the plastic scale, even you can break it with your hand. So it depends upon the material. So I want to incorporate the property of the material by telling a word E. And how big it is. Suppose if I want, I'm considering in my analysis the wind subject, the tree subjected to a wind, or the grass subjected to a wind, means that this tree is having more moment of inertia and grass is having less moment of inertia. Why am I am talking about the moment of inertia? After completing this class, you take a small scale and feel that there are two different moment of inertia for your scale. You can bend your scale along the y-axis easily, but if you want to bend the scale, you keep the scale vertically. You keep the scale vertically and try to bend it. So in one direction you will be able to bend it easily, but in the other direction you will not be able to bend it easily because the about z-axis the moment of inertia is high, but about y-axis you have to do it today after the completion classes. I'll ask tomorrow. Were you able to feel the influence of moment of inertia? The same scale, area cross section is same, but the bending about z-axis will be more than the bending about the y-axis. So when the moment of inertia is less, it will deflect easily. When the moment of inertia is more, it will deflect. It will not deflect much. So the moment of inertia plays an important. That's why we are not talking about area of cross section. We used to talk about. Did you join? Oh, LB has a hello. Ha, good morning. Good morning. How should I call you? How does pronounce your name? Yeah, Seekam or how should I call you? B. Hello.
Hello.
Can you unmute your mic?
I have unmuted it.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning. Very good morning. I would like to welcome you for this class. Can you invite the other friend also who has joined from Ethiopia?
Thank you. Okay, I will do that.
Yeah. Do it, and we will start the class again. We'll wait for him. I'm also trying to call him.
Hello. 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 Doctor, can you hear me?
Yeah. I am able to hear you. He'll be joining.
He's joining. Yes, I have just called him.
Oh, he'll be joining. Okay. He know how
Yes.
to join. Otherwise, I'll
Uh,
invite him.
he does know. He does know how to join.
He
Yeah.
does. Okay. Anyway, I'm very happy that you have selected a college to do your master's degree here, and you will. We are also very proud that you have joined us, and you can spend your valuable 2 years with us. And when the class, I think, when the regular class starts, we will get a chance to meet you in person. Okay, so I am the coordinator for the PG program, and I'm Jonah. I'm really teaching the advanced structure analysis for you. That's a course subject, and equally the courses will be distributed to you. Some courses will be in construction, and some courses construction management. So time 2 courses in construction management and 1 course in the structure engineering. Next semester 2 courses will be in structure engineering, 1 course similarly elective. Usually elective subject first semester we will offer as we like, and from the second semester onwards you can decide. But you are not interested in forensic science and tall structures?
Yes, I'm in there.
You are interested?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. You can then continue. Yeah, it's a good subject only. It's you need not worry about that. Tall structures also not much problem won't be there. Only most of the parts is theory only, because tall structures it's not an easy thing, but the conceptual things will be explained by the very experienced teacher only. And forensic science also, it's a new to this branch. Something you know it, because now the health monitoring is picking up. So forensic science will health monitoring of the structures means how the structures behave after its construction is over. So that's a usual trend. Now trend of this time. So it's better if you know something about the forensic science also. It will be well and good, because Internet of Things are coming on and picture. So this is connected with that. So you can be benefited by that also. So next semester we will offer the subjects. You can discuss with your classmates, and we can give the choice. So
Subjects next time for the elective courses.
next time we will decide. Previously itself we will ask you. You can give your suggestion and we can decide. Okay.
Oh.
This time you study this subject. All structures. It is taken. It will be taken by a professor who is 29 years of experience. She's working here for the past 29 years. So it's not an easy subject. You need not worry about that. A little bit tougher subject is what I am teaching now. That is the structure analysis. But I will make it in the simplest way. You need not worry about anything. I'll make you to understand in everything in the class itself. Mike is me. How to pronounce your name? She came, or how can you tell me? Because it's little bit. How to pronounce your name? How should I call you?
Ergübe.
Yeah, Ergebe. Oh, Ergebe.
Yeah.
Other name? Other name? Ergebe?
Or like, do you need me to give you a nickname?
No. Ergebe Sikama.
Okay.
Cum.
See you. Yeah,
Sikam.
see you.
That is your name or father's family name like that?
It's a family name. The Siyum
Family.
is from
Sikam
the
is a
Ergwa.
family name. Okay, so Ergebe I have to call this because it is a little bit difficult to pronounce for me. So I thought the second part is easy for me. So anyway, Ergebe. Okay, what about Mickey? Mikias? Mikias, can you unmute your mic? Hello. Hello. You know how to unmute your mic? There is one simple at the right side, no, with the hash. Can you unmute it? Just click it. It will get unmuted. Or on the you top, go to the top and unmute. You are able to see there is a video and another one is the audio. Just unmute your audio and yeah. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to you. Welcome you also to the Hindustan Institute of Technology. I'm happy that you also joined with us, and you can enjoy 2 years of your study in our campus. It is a beautiful campus. Once you enter, you will know the beauty of our campus also. So I'm the coordinator for the PG program, and I'll be teaching this advanced structure analysis. So I was discussing with our EGB that is related regarding the elective subject. So elective subject this semester you study forensic science and tall building. A tall building is not a complicated subject. It's a theory subject only. It will be handled by the professor who is having 29 years of experience. And forensic science also, it's a theory only because as I explained, Ergebe, that is it is health monitoring structure is it is in what is that? That's a general trend of this current scenario. So you can you will be benefited if you study that subject. So next semester we will offer the subject which you like. Okay, it's okay or you want to share something? How should I pronounce your name? Mickey, it's okay. Or Mikias? Hello. You have some internet problem. I'm not able to hear what you are talking. Can I proceed? Mikias? I'm not able to hear. Okay, maybe some internet problem may be there. It's okay. But are you able to hear me? Just you can put a word in the chat. No, you just go on, click on the top. You are having a chat box. Type your message whether you are able to hear and send it. Type the message. Just you click the second button. First one is for the list of participants. Second one is the chat button. In the chat button, you just click it and send your message. Yeah. Now I think now I am able to hear your voice. So if you want to share something, you can share there. So just now I have heard your voice, and I think I can proceed. You are able to hear me. If you want to share something, then you just send a word to through the chat box, and you send it. Okay. Hello. Okay, I'll be teaching the advanced structure analysis for you, and we have started the classes already. And no problem. I will repeat it everything, and I think you since you have done everything in the BTech level, you may pick up fast. If I'm going, you are able to catch my words. No, am I going fast? If I'm fast, you have to tell me because I don't know how you people used to talk. If at any point of time you can ask your clarifications, it's my pleasure to explain you. And so this is the subject I'm taking. That is the just to tell me whether you are able to see the slides screen or the PPT. Ergebe, are you able to see that? Hello, can you unmute your mic and tell me, please? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you are able to see the screen, no? The screen you are able to see? Yeah, PPT you are able to see?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'll send you the PPT to you. Don't worry. Note it down. Just you listen, or you can collect from your right. Yesterday, I think one of your classmates talked with you, and Kritika and Sweta. Kritika and Sweta.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
You can talk with them. Okay, you can explain them through WhatsApp or something. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
You help that girl, help that girl, Jagan, and the colors. You can help that boy. Okay, so keep them in good, what is that, rapport with you. This first unit is direct stiffness method. And in this method, you will be studying something about the determinate structures, indeterminate structures, and how to analyze a continuous beam and a rigid plane frame and a 3D frame. So these are the things you will be studying in this unit. So I'll send you the PPT because tell me. Others have noted all these things. So I'll give you the PPT, or you collect the notes from the students. At the end of the class, I'll upload the PPT in the Teams itself. You can download it. So this is the continuous. So three things you have to study here. One is the continuous beam. The second one is the plane frame, and third one is the 3D frame. 3D frame. These are things you have to study in the first unit. So in the continuous beam, first I explained to the students, already I explained what is the need of analysis. The purpose of analysis is to find out the bending moment and the shear force. So suppose the beam is there, the forces are the load is acting. P kilonewton is the concentrated load, and W kilonewton per meter is the uniformly distributed loads. For example, the load, this is a beam, and the load coming from the slab we represents by the uniformly distributed load. That is slab load from the roof. Roof is we tell it is a uniformly distributed load, and that is what's the meaning. That is per meter. In a meter run, how much load is coming? W kilonewton load is coming. That's the meaning of that. So this is a concentrated load. Which suppose if you are putting a generator, turbo generator on the top of the beam, then it will give a it may be acting over a small distance. It's not like a just a point. It won't be acting over a small distance, but we will tell that it is acting over a point for our analysis purpose. So a turbo machine is that a generator, the electricity generator machine is there. You are putting at a particular place. That load we will tell it is a concentrated load. Then we talked something about the supports. There are different types of supports. One is a fixed support. The second one is the roller support. Third one, another one support is there, hinged support. So when what are the properties of fixed support, hinged support, and the roller support? I have explained. The roller means, that is, you might have noticed something in your country, the bridges. When you go on the top of the pier or the pillar, you can note this hinge support. That is, it will allow the horizontal movement. That is on the top of the road, that is a bridge. When the bus is going, the bus will exert a horizontal force. That force will make that roller support you to get displaced a little bit. That the bridges, it will you can't note it with a naked eye, but small amount of displacement may be definitely there. So this type of support we'll be using is that bridges, and simply supported, that is a hinge support. Another type of hinge support is we'll be using in the what is that, in the buildings. So suppose if you are making the beam to rest on the wall, then that type of support, the beam is supported on a wall, that support we call it as simply supported. Suppose if the beam is supported on the reinforced column, that is the reinforced beam is supported on a reinforced column, then we call it as fixed support. So this I will explain the students about the fixed support and simply support. If you take that, what is that? In the fixed support, the difference between because the support plays a major role. I told the students, I explained the students, you take your scale, what you are using for your studies, take the scale, just you keep the scale in the horizontal position, just to put two of your fingers, one at the left end and one at the right end, and just to hold it. That's a simply supported. So somebody else is applying the force on the scale, what will happen? The end will rotate, but it will placed rotate firmly with your five fingers, left hand fingers on one end and right hand fingers, all the five fingers on the right hand side. It will give a fixity. You will like the fix. So after this class is over, just you take your scale and feel the effect of these two supports. One is a simple supporter, another one is a fixed support. Fixed support means you are holding it firmly. If you are holding it firmly, then the rotation is not allowed. Just you see the cursor, what I am showing here. Wait. This is the fixed support. It will not get deflect or it will not rotate. But in the case of simply supported, you will have a rotation and there is no displacement. So in the case of rollers, it will displace in the horizontal direction, but vertical direction, and in the rotation is allowed. So there are three types of supports I taught to the students. One is the fixed support. Fixed support is what I am showing here now. Then second was simply supported. Simply supported, you will have a rotation, but in the case of fixed support, you will not have any rotation. That you can feel with the help of the scale. Do it at home after this class is over. So another type is the roller support. Roller support also rotation is allowed. So the three types of supports we have talked about, and the purpose of this analysis is to find out the bending moment. Bending moment. The best example I told the students are, you take a small scale of 15 centimeter. I don't know how the scales are the measured there. In our country, the 15 centimeter scale is there. 30 centimeter scale is also there. You take both the scales, you apply a same load on the scale. The bigger one will bend a lot than, suppose if you take a scale, you are applying this 100 gram of load on the top of the scale. So you keep it horizontally, you apply a load, what will happen? It will deflect. You take a small scale that is of 15 centimeter, it will deflect less for 100 gram of load, and the long scale you take 30 centimeter 30, and you put a same 100 gram of load, so it will deflect more. So because the bending moment will be more in the case of the bigger scale than in the case of smaller scale. So what the purpose of analysis is to convert the load in terms of bending and shear. So in terms of bending and shear force. So these are the predominant forces acting on the beam. Maybe other forces also there. Torsional force. Torsional force, the best example I told us, when your cloth is wet, how will you how will you squeeze the water out? You will put a clockwise moment on one hand side and the anti-clockwise moment on the other hand side. So you are twisting your cloth so as to make the water to come out of your wet cloth. The same way, the beam also may be subjected to torsional effects if lateral loads are coming. So, but here in this class, we will be concentrating only on the bending and the shear. What is the meaning of shear? If you take this one support, the support will give a vertical resistance. But because of this load, it will try to come down. It will try to push the support. That is, let us say this beam is supported on a column. This beam is supported on a reinforced column. So, what will happen? Because of this load, this P kilonewton, it will try the column to come down, push it down. It will push it down. But what will the column do? It is supported on the soil and it will try to give a upward resistance. So the column is giving an upward resistance and this load is giving a downward pull. So what will happen? Something is acting upward and another one is acting downward. It is a tangential force. That we call it as shear force. So one is acting upward and another one is acting downward. That we call it a shear force. So the beam will be subjected to shear force, and because of that it will try to bend. So it will be subjected to bending moment also. So we will be converting the load in terms of shear force and the bending moment. That part we will be studying in the subsequent classes. So the purpose of analysis is because of this load, how much is the bending moment coming on the support and the shear force coming on the support. Maybe this case I can analyze with the help of a hand calculation. But if a multi-story building means you will not be able to do it with a hand calculation. You have to purely depend upon the softwares, the StatPro softwares, all these softwares. You have to rely upon the softwares. So the purpose of this is to analysis to find out in the case of beams, to find out the bending moment and the shear force. You suppose if the load is uniformly distributed load, then the bending moment is different from the if it is a concentrated load, the bending moment is different from the distributed load. So the purpose of analysis is to find out the bending moment. What is the use of this finding out bending moment and shear forces? Based on the bending moment and the shear force only, you will be designing a structure. Designing means you will decide your, suppose if it's a concrete structure, you will decide about your the size of the column, size of the beam, and reinforcement, everything you will decide based on the bending moment and the shear force. Similarly, if it's a steel structure, based on the bending moment and the shear force only, you will end up with the which section you have to use it. That is HB section, heavy beams or junior beams, like that, I sections or channel sections put together, like that you will decide with the section. So once you know the bending moment and the shear force only, then you will be able to design the structure. So the purpose of this analysis is to design a structure. So without analysis, you will not be able to design a structure. So once you know the bending moment, shear force, torsion force, everything, you will be in a position to design the structure. So this part also I have covered already. So for your sake, I am repeating it again. So this explained. So how to analyze a structure, I have explained. So this is a continuous beam. It is supported on 4 supports. One is a fixed support, right end also fixed support, then the hinge support, roller support are the other 2 points. So for the analysis purpose, what I will do is I will number the structure. First number the beams. How many beams are there? I have circled here. That is 1, then 2, then 3. So 3 beams are there. Then so after numbering it, I have to number the nodes. How many nodes are there? That is, wherever you are having the support, you have to consider it as a node. Node number 1, node number 2, node number 3, and node number 4. So these are the 4 nodes are there. 3 beams are there. 3 number of beams are there. And 3 beams put together, we call it as continuous beam. And nodes are 1, 2, 3, 4. So each node you have to consider what is the effect of this node. What will happen to the node if a load is applied? So this is a fixed node. As I told you, this fixed node means the node will not displaced in the vertical direction, or it will not rotate. It will not rotate. So vertical translation, we call the word vertical displacement as vertical translation. Vertical translation I have numbered as 1, and the rotation I have numbered as 2. So that's about the joint 1, 2. That is, there will not be any effect on 1. There will not be any effect on 2 because it's a fixed support. It can't rotate. It can't translate vertically. Then second node, if I take the second node vertically, it can't translate. 3 is 0, but 4 is there because the rotation is allowed. It will rotate. It will rotate. If you go to the third node also, it can translate. It can't translate. It can't move. We use the word restrained. It is not free. Restrained is the opposite of free. Opposite of free means it is restrained. So this is restrained from moving in the upward direction or downward direction, but it can rotate. This end can rotate. Similarly, the fourth node, it can't move in the upward direction and it can't rotate also because it's a fixed support. So what you have to keep in your mind is 3 different supports are there, and one is a fixed support, simply supported, and the hinge support. The hinge support, I won't be putting the roller here. That's a hinge support. The hinge support, it can't move in the horizontal direction also. But roller support, so as in the case of bridges, it can move in the horizontal direction. So you have to thorough about I have explained to the other classmates because you are joined today. I'm repeating everything what I am doing. If you're going fast, you have to stop at any point of time and you have to clarify your doubts because I can't see your faces whether you are understanding or not. So you unmute your mic at any time and you ask the clarification. Otherwise, you put it in the chat box. Then and there, I'll try to clarify it. Okay. So the first thing is you have to number the beam. The second thing is you have to number the node 1, 2, 3, 4. The third thing is you have to tell translation and the rotation is allowed or not. If it's a fixed support, there is no vertical translation, it can't move. For example, you take a scale and keep it horizontally, put your finger, 2 fingers at the end, somebody is pushing it, but the scale can't move down. Am I correct? It can't move down at the ends. I'm talking about the end only. I'm not talking about the middle point. Suppose if somebody is putting load on the beam, the scale, it can deflect at the middle, but not at the end because you are supporting in the opposite direction. So like that, if it's a fixed means, rotation is also not allowed. That is, as I told, if it's a fixed means, rotation is also not. It is not able to rotate. But when you see this simply supported beam, it can rotate. It can rotate. That's a difference between the simply supported beam and the fixed beam. That simply supported beam example is this line I represents by the it is a representation of a beam, concrete beam or steel beam. If it is supported on the brick wall, then I will call it as a simply supported one. If the beam is supported on the column, then I call it as a fixed support. That's the difference between these two. So do you have any doubt in the support condition, fixed support? Can I will ask the classmates to send the notes to you through WhatsApp. Just note it down. They have taken everything. So fixed support and the simple support and the roller support. These are the 3 types of supports available to you. Then the beam numbering, as I have told, you can number this is a single beam I have taken, and this is J joint and K joint. I have node numbering. You can make it as 1, 2, 3, or you can make it as A, B, C, or you can make it as J, K, L, M, and like that you can make. So now I have gone to the, I'll move on to the formulation of stiffness matrix. So why I have to go formulate the stiffness matrices, I'll tell you before moving on to that. There is a relation between the external force and the stiffness and the displacement. The best example I was explaining is, suppose the tree, take one tree, the tree is subjected to a wind force. It is subjected to a wind force. So when the wind is blowing on the tree, what will happen to the tree? Tree will sway. It will go forward direction, backward direction, in neutral direction. It will come to the neutral position, forward and backward. It will move. Why it's happening? So when some force is acting, it will respond. So somebody is trying to hit your head means you will sway your head. So some response is there. That response depends upon the stiffness of your material. So stiffness, I will tell you how to find out the stiffness of a material in the subsequent slides. So there is a relation between the external force and the internal force. So the tree is not breaking. Am I correct? When the wind is coming, unless the cyclone comes, the tree may break. If it's beyond the limit, it will break. But suppose for the ordinary wind forces and all, the tree won't get it won't be broken. What will happen? Depending upon the stiffness, it will display and it will get displaced and it will remain in its position. Similarly, you take another example. You take a grass and a tree. This wind is blowing at 50 km/h. The grass will sway like anything. It will get displaced in the lateral direction like anything. It will maybe moving even 0.5 meter, but the tree will not move that much because the stiffness of the material. What's the meaning of stiffness? Note it down. Resistance to displacement. Resistance to displacement. The resistance may be the resistance to displace or resistance to rotate. So there are different types of stiffness, resistance to displacement, resistance to resistance to vertical displacement, resistance to rotation. So all these things are there. Will you be able to rotate the tree easily? It's not easy, but the tree can sway here and forward and backward direction, but the rotation of the tree is not easy. So like that, different stiffnesses are there. So just to note down, this is different. There is a relation between the force and the displacement of the structure. So who is correlating it? Who is there is a external force is there? Tree is displacing. How much it does get displaced depends upon the stiffness. So depends the external force is equal to stiffness into displacement. The stiffness is how much it is getting displaced. So in the simple form, I have noted Q is equal to K into U. Here also you should know one thing I have used a curly bracket, and the K I have used the square bracket. Whenever you are seeing the curly bracket, that indicates that is that particular quantity is having a direction. The force may be applied in the positive direction or it can be applied in the negative direction. Similarly, stiffness is a quantity. It's not having any direction. So I have put it in the square bracket. And similarly, displacement is the displacement is a this what is that? It is displacement in the positive direction or towards left or towards right or towards up or down. So it has got a direction. So it's a vector quantity. So vector quantity I'll be putting in a W bracket, and scalar quantity, there is no direction, that I'll put it in the square bracket. In your exam also you have to be careful about this brackets. So there is a relation between the external force and how much it is getting displayed. So I told the example of a grass and a tree. The tree, for the same wind force, it will get displaced less than the grass because of its stiffness. So stiffness depends upon the Young's modulus value and that is I value and the length of the member. That is, again you take the Young's modulus. I'll give some emphasis on the Young's modulus. Some on moment of inertia, some on L. How it will influence the structure. So you take you take a small scale made of plastic and steel, which will the steel, the Young's modulus is different, but plastic, its Young's modulus is different. The steel scale you can't break it with the hand, but the plastic scale you can break it with the hand. So the property depends upon the Young's modulus. What is Young's modulus? Young's modulus is stress by strain. Stress by strain. I think at that level I need not explain, because you have learned in your beta curriculum itself. There are different types of Young's modulus. One is the this is the linear, then non-linear also. It is Young's modulus also there. We'll be talking about the linear thing only. Non-linear part we are not covering here. So linear only. So Young's modulus depends upon the Young's modulus material property, whether it's a plastic or a concrete or steel. So that effect is also there. Second one is the moment of inertia. So moment of inertia is moment of inertia, something, it depends upon the cross section. Depends upon the cross section. But why I am not incorporating the cross section here is, you take a scale. You again, a best example is a scale, plastic scale, that you keep it in the vertical position, and you try to deflect it in the lateral direction. What will happen? The one direction you will be able to bend the scale, and the other direction, that is Z direction, you will be able to bend it easily, and in the Y direction you will not be able to bend it, because it depends upon the moment of inertia. That is, moment of inertia about Z axis is more, so bending is not easy in the scale, but moment of inertia about Y axis is easy, and the scale will, how will you break the scale? You keep it vertically and apply a load, and in one direction if you try to bend it, it will not bend, but in the lateral direction it will easily bend and the scale will break. So the moment of inertia also plays a major role. A cross section is same, but the moment of inertia plays a role. Now what is moment of inertia? If it's a rectangular section, it is 1 by 12 BD cube, and the other moment of inertia is 1 by 12 B cube D. B cube D, and moment of inertia about Z axis is 1 by 12 B D cube. So these are things you have to understand. Then depends upon the length also. So as I told, small scale will deflect less than the large scale, big scale. So these three factors contribute in the stiffness of the material. Then another example is the grass and the tree, the grass will deflect more because it is moment of inertia is less. That is, cross section is very less when compared to tree. Then Young's model is also less, and the length of the grass is also small when compared to the tree. Similarly, we take a small tree and a long tree. Which one will sway during the windy season? Definitely the longer tree. So these three factors constitutes the stiffness. So how much it is contributing? Some coefficients are there, that is 12, 6, minus 12, 6, 4 and 2. So how to arrive at the stiffness matrix? You have learned the last classes, but I think I can't explain today because time is over. So I'll explain the subsequent classes. Anyway, once again, I'll repeat it. One thing you do, you collect the notes from that is Gibi and Mikias. You collect the notes from your classmates. At the end of this first unit was over, I'll upload in the Teams also. So you can you have to put a separate note, and you can copy down all the things. Can you collect somebody? I think Kalerisa has contacted. Sweta also, you collect their number. Or Sweta and Kritya also, you can collect their number from Gibi and you can help her. Because you are in the WhatsApp group, yeah, definitely you help them. Okay. Mikias, you are able to understand what I'm telling or going fast? Because I need some, because the way in which you used to talk in your country, I don't know. Mikias and Egibi, are you able to follow what I have taught today? Can you unmute your mic? Is it okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. What about Egibi? Can you unmute your mic?
Yeah.
It's okay, or should I go a little bit slower?
It's okay. We can understand.
You can understand. Yeah, you can understand, because I have completed all this portion. When I was teaching them, I was a little bit slow only. For both of your purpose only, I'm repeating it again, because in the midst, in the middle, if you join, you won't understand the concept. So these are the basic concept. Just get the notes from your friends, Kritya or Sweta. Any one of you, you just contact through WhatsApp, because we have developed a WhatsApp group, and you can collect it, and then and there we will have a small quiz in the class itself. Last class also, we have conducted one small quiz that I didn't take for the test purpose. So it's a continuous assessment. It will not be in a single test and you will be assessed. So I'll definitely tell. If I suppose I conduct the quiz tomorrow, I'll definitely tell. And the possible questions also I will tell. So that based on that, it's enough if you prepare. And in the class itself, I'll make you to study everything. You need not worry about that. I'll stop with that one, because I heard in Ethiopia, internet is very costly. So I'll stop with that one, just to get the notes from the friends and study. Okay. What about others? Our students, we'll stop with that today, and we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. We'll leave. Okay. 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 Help them, please. Other students, please help them.